terrorism concentrates minds. In Pakistan, there's a tide of militancy sweeping the country. The latest bombing in Peshawar killed 9. All this causes new concerns about the safety of the country's nuclear stockpile, as does the behaviour of the country's army. American worries have heightened since they detected an apparent dispersal of the weapons.
Why are we so concerned about this? Well, one of the reasons is nuclear weapons. You know, we spend a lot of time worrying about Iran. Pakistan already has them. Right. And they are widely dispersed in the country. There's not a central location, as you know. They are, you know, they've adopted a policy of dispersing their nuclear weapons and facilities.
A few years ago, under previous presidents, the two countries had, we understand, evolved a highly secret system of nuclear information sharing.
Several years ago, back in the time of Presidents Bush and Musharraf, we understand that the US and Pakistan had a highly secret arrangement whereby the Pakistanis told the Americans where their nuclear warheads were, and the US had contingency plans to go in and secure them in the event of an extreme emergency. More recently, though, that type of intelligence has not been shared, and that has contributed to American anxieties about the security of those weapons.
These are things that are really only known to perhaps President Musharraf and President Bush. But what we do know is that there was a very close relationship, there was a very comfortable relationship, and I don't doubt that there was a lot of sharing of that kind of sensitive information. Having said that, we also need to remember that Pakistanis are extremely sensitive about the nuclear program.
Pakistan's estimated 70 to 80 nuclear weapons are stored in many locations, for example at the Sargodha ammunition depot and the Malut missile base. Fatehjung is another key site and may be the main assembly plant. Large amounts of fissile material are kept at production complexes like Kushab and Dera Ghazi Khan. American concerns relate not just to the possibility, remote for now, of Taliban trying to storm such sites, but also to attempts to steal materials in transit or subvert people working at the plants.
You could understand the profound unease in the United States about this issue because it's all the above. Any one of them has become almost a credible scenario, whether it's actual subordination of Pakistani officers, whether it's masked militants seizing the weapons, perhaps when they're in transit, or whether it's some danger of rogue officers handing them over. I mean, all of them become equally salient considerations and equally profound dangers and concerns of the United States.
It isn't just that militancy is on the rise in Pakistan. Satellite pictures suggest another trend. The nuclear program, its facilities, fissile materials and its presumed weapons stockpile are all growing quickly too. In Congress, there's nervousness, not just about why Pakistan is engaged in a nuclear spending spree, but whether US aid is ultimately paying for it. There are now calls for tighter regulation of the administration's aid to Pakistan.
On the one hand, we have a concern about a regime that could be a very unstable regime, increasing its nuclear capability. And secondly, we have a concern about how we follow the money that is being sent to Pakistan in a way that we do normally with other countries.
As for Pakistan's embattled civilian leader, he has little of President Musharraf's insight into how the nuclear complex works. Public opinion is sensitive to any idea that the Americans might try to control or even spirit off the nuclear arsenal. And the military has kept even its supposed political masters in the dark.
There never is enough control on the nuclear program in Pakistan, because that really is something that the army controls and keeps and is extremely possessive about. At the same time, I can imagine, because I know people in the army, I know Pakistan, that the Pakistan army would continue expanding the nuclear program and testing it and refining it.
Today, Pakistan's army is saying it has beat back the Taliban from Buna and Swat. But the question of whether a growing stockpile of nuclear material is safe is quite different. The army guards its nuclear independence fiercely, and American pressure for greater oversight is generating more friction in an already difficult relationship.